Something about this moment can feel deeply personal, as if it is calling you to pause and reflect more carefully on your direction in life. It speaks in the language of urgency and meaning, but what truly matters is the message beneath the imagery, a reminder to become more aware of your thoughts, your choices, and the energy you bring into your surroundings. Sometimes, when life feels uncertain or heavy, the mind creates powerful symbols to express inner concern, urging you to slow down and reconnect with clarity instead of fear. Rather than focusing on external forces or imagined warnings, this can be understood as an invitation to strengthen your inner stability and trust your own awareness. There are moments when distractions, stress, or emotional noise can make everything feel intense, as if something unseen is pressing in. Yet often it is our own inner world asking for attention, balance, and grounding. Instead of reacting with worry, this is a chance to step back and regain calm perspective, to notice what truly deserves your energy and what does not. You are being encouraged, in a symbolic sense, to protect your peace, make thoughtful decisions, and stay centered in what is real and constructive. Life often presents these mental narratives not as predictions, but as reflections of what we feel inside. By recognizing that, you can transform uncertainty into awareness and fear into steadiness, allowing yourself to move forward with more confidence, clarity, and emotional strength. What you ignore can take hold. So Michael is now screaming through this divine line. He said, "Please, just 20 seconds. If you give me that, I'll give you your life back. Tonight isn't normal, my child." This night was chosen for spiritual confrontation, because while you were sleeping, someone was setting a trap for you. But the angels of the Lord were watching, and a reversal has been planned, but only if you respond. That's why this alert came so suddenly. That's why this was blocked 3 times in the spiritual realm before reaching you. Michael fought for this to reach your hands. He knows you are tired. He knows you've been through battle after battle. But now, the battle has come to your home, and you must be spiritually present, because the enemy wants to enter through a forgotten door, a door that was left unlocked in your spirit. But the moment you stay with this message, the moment you honor it, that door will be sealed, and the danger will pass by. Just like the angel of death passed over marked doors in Egypt, your home can be marked tonight, if you stay with this word. But if you scroll away, you may miss the divine code that was meant to shield your house. This is not a story. This is not drama. This is spiritual intelligence from the throne of God. And Michael has only one order for you. Open this, now. Hear every word. Don't rush, because the attack is real. But so is the miracle. You are chosen for this warning, because your destiny is too big to be stolen. The moment you believe this, the angel of breakthrough will be released. But if you treat this like entertainment, the protection pauses, and heaven does not want you exposed tonight. Listen closely, my child. Someone with bad intentions just spoke your name, but they didn't know that heaven was listening. They didn't know your angels have been watching their movements. A plan was just uncovered in the realm of light. And you need to know, it almost worked. That's why this message is not calm. That's why Archangel Michael is not whispering. He is commanding. He is saying, "Child of light, arise now." This is your divine security code. You were never supposed to hear this in your own strength. That's why the angels are with you now. And as you read these lines, something is being undone in the spiritual realm. You can't see it, but heaven is watching your response. Because this isn't just a warning, it's an invitation to divine covering, an invitation to supernatural reversal, an invitation to your next level. But first, you must obey this one order. Don't stop reading, don't doubt, and whatever you do, don't scroll past this. because a message like this comes once in a lifetime, and heaven will not repeat itself if the soul walks away. You are still here, because your spirit knows this is not random. You were marked with divine protection at birth, but lately, your shield has been under attack. Tonight is the final attempt of the enemy to enter unseen. But he will not succeed if you activate this word. Michael said, "This is not just a message. This is a divine alarm. Ring it in your heart. Now, beloved, say this out loud if you feel it. I will not sleep on my miracle. I will not ignore my angels. I will stay with this word, no matter what." The moment you say that, the chains begin to loosen, the fear begins to fade, and the power of God enters your home like a wave of fire and light. Now, before we go deeper, Speech Balloon subscribe now, so you never miss another angelic alert from heaven. If you're seeing this, it's not by chance, it's your divine rescue plan. Tap and subscribe. Your next message may save your future. Now breathe, my beloved, because the next part is deeper. Heaven is about to show you the face of the one who tried to block your joy. And the name will shock you, but the freedom that's coming, it will shake your entire household. My beloved, there is something heaven wants you to see with your spiritual eyes right now. Someone has been watching your home, not physically, but spiritually. They don't knock on your door, they knock on your weakness. They don't use weapons, they use whispers, and they almost made it through. But your angel blocked it. Your angel stood at the edge of your house and declared, "Not this one, not today, not ever again. But now you must listen." This moment is being described as a turning point, where every choice feels weighty, as if something important is shifting beneath the surface of life. It suggests a pause before action, where staying grounded and observant could reveal truths that were previously overlooked. There is an emphasis on patience and awareness, as though clarity arrives only when emotions settle and the mind becomes steady enough to see beyond confusion. The message reflects on the possibility that misunderstandings, tension, or distance between people may have created cracks in trust, allowing negativity, assumptions, or outside influence to distort what was once clear and peaceful. Rather than focusing on blame, it points toward the importance of recognizing how small, unresolved feelings can quietly grow and affect relationships over time. It continues with a sense of deeper awareness, as if unseen pressures or emotional weight have been surrounding one's personal space, not in a literal sense, but through thoughts, doubts, and internal fears that influence perception. Yet it also carries reassurance, implying that protection, resilience, and inner strength have played a role in preventing those difficulties from becoming overwhelming. The message encourages listening carefully to intuition, slowing down reactions, and understanding that not everything is as it first appears. It closes with the idea that what feels hidden may soon become clearer, and that this clarity, though surprising, can ultimately bring emotional release and a stronger sense of balance within one's environment and relationships. But through their jealousy, through their bitterness, through their complaints about you when you weren't around, they became a doorway, a crack in your protection, and the enemy found it. But this is not to scare you, my beloved, this is to wake you up. Because while the attack was launched, heaven launched something greater, an angelic reversal, and your name is written on it. Tonight, Michael stands with an army right outside your house. They are guarding the roof, they are shielding the door, they are covering your bed, your windows, your walls. But there is one room they cannot enter without your permission, the room of your thoughts. And that is where the enemy was planning to enter, not with a loud sound, but with a quiet suggestion. Give up. Maybe you aren't protected after all. Maybe this spiritual stuff isn't real. Lies. Michael saw those whispers coming before they reached your mind. And this message, It's your divine firewall, your mental protection, because when you hear a lie but don't recognize it, it enters. But when heaven speaks truth into you before the lie comes, you become unshakable. That's what this message is doing. It's preparing you, because within 8 hours of reading this, something will try to test your peace. Someone may even say something that feels off. Someone may enter your house or text your phone, and you'll remember these words. This was not random. This was foreseen. God never allows a warning without a purpose. And the purpose now is simple. Wake up the warrior in you. Michael is not just a comforter. He is a fighter. And tonight, he is standing with his sword drawn, facing the very thing that tried to enter your life without permission. You, my beloved, you are not alone. Now listen carefully. There is a knock coming. Not a physical one, a spiritual one. It will come as a thought, a fear, a sense that something is about to shift, and the enemy will hope that you speak doubt in that moment. But instead, you will speak faith. Say it now with your own breath. No weapon formed against my house shall prosper. I am covered. My family is covered. Heaven is watching me tonight. Do you feel that? That pressure leaving your chest? That heaviness lifting off your back? That's not your imagination. That's the presence of your angel entering the room. He couldn't walk in until you agreed with the word. Now he is here, standing behind you, sword in hand. Michael says, "This home will be a fortress. This child will not fall. This night will end in glory." And now something rare is happening. A divine scroll is being opened in heaven. Your name is on the next miracle to be released. But there's one condition. You must finish this message, because within the next lines, a spiritual transaction is hidden. And only those who complete the message will receive it. That's why so many scroll past. That's why some messages never finish loading. Because the enemy knows, if you finish reading, you finish bleeding, and the wound will close. So now I ask you, will you trust heaven enough to stay? Will you believe that this message is not entertainment, but deliverance? You know the answer in your heart already, because your spirit is awake now, and the protection is growing. Tonight, my beloved, you are not just being warned, you are being marked. Marked for blessing, marked for favor, marked for a shift so divine, the next 48 hours won't look like your last 48 years. Stay with me, because in the next part, Archangel Michael is going to reveal the exact moment your name was placed into heaven's emergency scroll, and what will happen in your home if you stay aligned. You've reached a deeper layer of this message, the kind that often goes unnoticed when life feels loud and demanding. It arrives in a moment where everything else tries to pull your attention away, yet you stayed with it anyway, and that alone speaks to a quiet strength within you. Even when exhaustion builds and doubts grow heavier, you didn't step away, and that persistence carries its own meaning. It suggests a readiness for change, a willingness to move forward even when the path isn't fully clear. Think of this as a turning point where inner awareness becomes stronger than outside noise. It's as if life has been building toward a moment where you pause, reflect, and recognize that not everything unfolding around you is random or meaningless. Some experiences arrive to reshape direction, to realign focus, and to help you release what no longer serves your peace. If you feel a shift happening, it isn't something to fear but something to understand as growth taking form. There are times when life feels unusually intense, as though unseen forces are rearranging circumstances in subtle ways. But this is often the mind's way of processing transformation. Instead of anxiety, choose grounding. Instead of resistance, choose clarity. What feels uncertain now may simply be the beginning of a more stable and intentional chapter. Trust that even in moments of inner turbulence, you are being guided toward balance, and nothing about your journey is without purpose or direction. Because the enemy hoped you'd be too distracted, too tired, too overwhelmed to stay, but you remained. And that tells heaven one thing: you are ready. Now listen carefully. The scroll in heaven with your name was not opened by accident. It was sealed until this very night. And only one voice was allowed to break it open: Michael's. He stepped forward before the throne and said, "This child has been tested. This child has remained. This child must now be protected fully." And the Lord gave his word. He said, "If they do not ignore this message, I will rewrite what was scheduled to happen in their house." Yes, something was scheduled. An event, an interruption, a sudden shift, meant to displace your peace. It was already written by the enemy. But heaven is now tearing that plan apart. Because you are in alignment. Because your heart is open. Because your spirit said yes. There are nights when the war is quiet. But this night is not one of them. This is a loud night in the spirit. You may even feel it. Like something is moving. Like something invisible is walking across the edges of your room. Don't be afraid. Because it's not what you think. It's heaven. Positioning the blessing. Releasing the reversal. Marking your space. Archangel Michael is moving through your house now, from room to room. He is touching your bed and declaring rest. He is touching your walls and declaring protection. He is placing angels at every window, and he is leaving no space uncovered. Because you are not going to lose this time. Not your peace, not your sleep, not your joy, and not your breakthrough. Heaven has declared this house a divine territory. But here's what you must do next. You must speak this out loud now, with belief. My home belongs to God. My walls are surrounded. My windows are sealed with light. No darkness may pass this door. There. Did you feel that? That shift. That strange peace that suddenly covered you like a blanket. That's confirmation. Michael heard it. And heaven recorded it. You've just activated an angelic lock. Nothing not sent by heaven can cross your threshold now. But that's not the end. Because what happens next is going to shock you. Someone you least expect is going to reach out to you within 48 hours. They will either knock, call, message, or walk in. But what matters most is not what they do, it's what they carry. Because they are either a divine carrier or a disguised trap. And that's why this message matters. Because it will sharpen your discernment. You will feel it instantly. The moment they speak, your spirit will know. This is either my confirmation or my distraction. And heaven will give you clarity, not confusion. You will no longer be pulled by feelings. You will be led by fire. Because Michael is sending the fire of clarity into your space. No more fog. No more spiritual blindness. You will see through masks. You will know when the voice is lying. You will hear the truth, even when it's wrapped in false light. This is what it means to be spiritually awake. You don't just see angels. You see assignments. You see what's behind the words. You hear what's behind the compliment. You feel what's behind the hug. And you never walk into a trap again. Because you've been trained. Because heaven trusts you now. But this came with a price. Your tears were not wasted. Your lonely nights were not unnoticed. Michael was standing there, recording every cry. And tonight, heaven is cashing in those tears, turning pain into prophecy, turning silence into suddenness, turning heartbreak into holy alignment. Life can sometimes feel like it is moving faster than your thoughts, where moments begin to unfold in ways that seem almost unreal, as if everything is aligning at once without warning. You may notice opportunities appearing just as you begin to consider them, and solutions arriving at the exact moment you realize you need them. It can feel like a quiet turning point, where inner confidence starts to replace uncertainty. Much of what follows is shaped by the choices you make right now, especially the decision to stay aware, present, and open when it would be easier to disconnect or delay. There is a sense that your environment is shifting in subtle but meaningful ways, not through dramatic changes, but through small signs that something is realigning in your favor. You might feel a lightness, as if mental pressure you were not fully conscious of has begun to ease, allowing you to think more clearly and breathe more freely. This is less about external forces and more about internal readiness meeting the right timing. What matters most is that you are still moving forward, still engaging with what is in front of you, and still choosing to remain steady through uncertainty. In that steadiness, things begin to organize themselves in ways that feel supportive and timely, reminding you that progress often begins quietly before it becomes visible, because you've just entered the part of the message where the chains start breaking. Michael just whispered, "They stayed. Now I can show them what was hidden. So I must reveal something. There was someone who spoke against you 3 nights ago. They didn't say your name directly, but their heart sent the energy to you. Their jealousy reached your field, and it tried to block your next miracle. But that's when Michael drew his sword, and he declared, 'No more.' Heaven does not allow darkness to touch a chosen one without permission. And in your case, no permission was granted, but you needed to be warned. Because although it didn't hit you, it came close. And if this message hadn't reached you in time, if you had skipped it like the others, that darkness might have found a crack. But now, it's sealed. You are surrounded, and your house is being marked from the sky. There are angels flying over your roof right now, invisible to the eye, undeniable to the spirit. They are singing songs of deliverance. You may not hear it with your ears, but your soul does. That's why your breathing has shifted. That's why your heart is no longer racing. Because the warfare that was spinning around you has just been silenced. And the reason is simple. You didn't ignore heaven. You honored the message. You stayed present. And now, the presence of God is staying with you. My beloved, there is still more to show you. They didn't say your name directly, but their heart sent the energy to you. Their jealousy reached your field, and it tried to block your next miracle. But that's when Michael drew his sword, and he declared, "No more." Heaven does not allow darkness to touch a chosen one without permission. And in your case, no permission was granted, but you needed to be warned, because although it didn't hit you, it came close. And if this message hadn't reached you in time, if you had skipped it like the others, that darkness might have found a crack. But now, it's sealed. You are surrounded, and your house is being marked from the sky. There are angels flying over your roof right now, invisible to the eye, undeniable to the spirit. They are singing songs of deliverance. You may not hear it with your ears, but your soul does. That's why your breathing has shifted. That's why your heart is no longer racing. Because the warfare that was spinning around you has just been silenced. And the reason is simple. You didn't ignore heaven. You honored the message. You stayed present. And now, the presence of God is staying with you. My beloved, there is still more to show you. Because while Michael was guarding you from the front, there was something following behind you too. A shadow of your past. A memory that refuses to let go. A voice that still tells you, maybe you deserved the pain. But heaven rejects that lie. Michael saw that shadow and chased it down. And right now, as you breathe, that shadow is being severed from your path. You don't owe your past anything. You don't have to carry guilt for surviving. You don't have to apologize for healing. You don't have to explain why God chose you, because He did. And tonight is the proof. You were chosen for preservation, chosen for protection, chosen for peace. But now, you are also being chosen for something greater, something almost terrifying in how big it is. You are being chosen to carry something sacred, favor, and not just any favor, unusual favor, favor that makes no sense to those around you. There are moments when life seems to shift in ways that feel almost unexpected, as if everything begins aligning at the right time, without needing force or explanation. Things that once felt delayed or uncertain start to move forward with a natural flow, bringing a sense of clarity and direction. You may notice opportunities opening up, support appearing in places you didn't anticipate, and a quiet strength building within you that helps you keep going, even when things were unclear before. Progress doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it unfolds step by step, shaping your path in subtle but meaningful ways. What once felt out of reach can slowly come into view when timing and preparation meet. Along the way, there is also a deeper awareness developing, helping you recognize what is right for you and what no longer fits your journey. Not every challenge is meant to stop you. Some are simply part of the process that strengthens your focus and patience. As you continue forward, you begin to understand that growth often happens in silence before it becomes visible in results. The support you need, whether emotional, practical, or inspirational, tends to arrive when you are ready to receive it. Staying steady and open allows you to move through uncertainty with greater ease, and over time, what once felt distant starts to feel possible, then natural, and eventually real in your everyday life. And your home, still covered, still protected, still sealed by angelic command. You may even begin to feel warmth in your chest right now. That's not random. That's Michael confirming this word. He is touching your heart so you'll know this is real, and you are not alone. Not in this room, not in this hour, not in this war. You've been assigned to win, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what is being released over your house in the next 24 hours. Stay grounded, stay grateful, and most of all, stay open, because the moment you finish this message, you will feel a release so deep, you'll know the night is no longer dark. You'll feel the shift in your room. You'll know the angels are still standing guard, and you'll know the house you're living in just became a holy place. My child, my beloved, you've reached the part few ever touch. This is where the scroll becomes personal. This is where Archangel Michael speaks directly to you, not just as a messenger, but as a guardian. So now, quiet your thoughts, listen with your spirit, because what's about to be said will shift something deep inside you. Michael says, "My beloved, I have walked with you since birth. You may not have seen me, but I have stood in the shadows, behind every danger. I was there when you almost gave up, and no one knew. I stood between you and every accident that tried to end you early. I've whispered when you were sleeping. I've fought demons you never even knew were assigned to your bloodline. But tonight, I speak out loud. This is your final warning before a new beginning. There is something hiding in your house, not under the bed, not behind the curtains, but in the air, in the energy. It is a lingering fear, a spiritual dust that has been following you from place to place. It comes from grief, betrayal, and old words spoken over you by those who didn't know your destiny. And now, it must be removed. There is no more time. Heaven is ready to cleanse the space you live in. But there's a secret instruction, one so simple, most ignore it. But if you follow it tonight, your entire spiritual atmosphere will reset. Michael says, light no candle, burn no incense, just speak. Yes, that's all. Just speak. Stand in the center of your room, or wherever you are right now. Look toward the sky and say these exact words. I declare this house is holy ground. All darkness must leave. I welcome only light, only love, only heaven. Archangel Michael, stand at my door. God, fill every room with your breath. This home is sealed by divine fire. So be it. That's it. But that moment of obedience, it unlocks something massive. Because this is not about a ritual. It's about agreement. And when your voice agrees with heaven, earth must obey. Your environment will shift. Even your sleep will change tonight. You won't toss and turn like before. You won't feel watched in your own home. You won't hear strange noises and assume it's the wind. And now, it must be removed. There is no more time. Heaven is ready to cleanse the space you live in. But there's a secret instruction. One so simple, most ignore it. But if you follow it tonight, your entire spiritual atmosphere will reset. Michael says, light no candle, burn no incense, just speak. Yes, that's all. Just speak. Stand in the center of your room, or wherever you are right now. Lift your gaze upward for a moment, and gently repeat these words with intention. I acknowledge this space as filled with calm, clarity, and positive energy. Anything heavy, unsettled, or distressing is released. I invite in warmth, compassion, and peace to flow through every corner of my surroundings. Imagine a quiet strength surrounding your home, creating a sense of protection and balance that supports your well-being. Picture your environment becoming lighter, as if each breath you take refreshes the atmosphere around you. This is not about ritual or force, but about the power of focused thought and inner alignment. When your mindset settles into calm, your perception of the world begins to soften as well. The way you experience your space can shift, helping you feel more grounded and at ease in moments that once felt overwhelming. Rest becomes more natural. Your thoughts slow down, and the sense of unease begins to fade into stillness. You may notice that familiar worries lose their intensity, replaced instead with a steady feeling of reassurance. There is a quiet comfort in choosing peace for yourself, a reminder that safety often begins within your own awareness. As you continue to center your thoughts, allow yourself to feel supported, steady, and present, as though your mind and body are finally settling into the same calm rhythm. But it returns now, because Michael has heard your silence, and heaven is responding with presence. But here's what may surprise you. Once you speak those words, within the next 24 hours, you will notice something strange. Someone in your life may suddenly act distant. They may withdraw. They may ghost you. They may even argue for no reason. But don't chase them. Don't ask why, because this cleansing is not just of your home, it's of your circle. Spiritual cleaning means spiritual pruning. Some people cannot survive in the purified atmosphere heaven is creating around you. They were tied to the energy you just commanded out. Let them go. Don't be afraid, because what leaves after this prayer was never meant to stay, and what enters after this moment was always part of your divine promise. Now breathe, my child. Let this next part settle into your bones. You are finally safe. You are finally seen. And heaven is finally loud about your miracle. The night that was assigned for tragedy, it's been reassigned for testimony. The dark cloud that was hanging above you has been blown away by angel wings. The unsettling energy in your house has been replaced with angelic fire. You are now a carrier of light, and this house no longer just a shelter. It is a throne room. A place where angels walk freely, a place where miracles can happen without delay, a place where you will no longer cry yourself to sleep in silence, because joy is being poured like oil into the corners of your space, and the oil never runs dry when heaven pours it. You are protected, and more than that, you are claimed. You belong to God, and everything you own is now under His hand. Michael stands at your front door now. He turns and says to the other angels, "This house is now off limits to every shadow. Mark it, guard it, surround it with fire until dawn. Now rest, my child." But don't disconnect yet, because in the next part, heaven will show you the exact time the shift will occur and the number to watch for in your dreams tonight. Yes, you'll be given a sign, and if you see it, you'll know. Your miracle is arriving on schedule. My child, my beloved, tonight was not just about protection, it was about realignment. What was off in your spirit is being brought back into divine balance, and you may not feel the full shift all at once, but you'll start noticing the signs, starting with the time. Yes, heaven will confirm your alignment through a number. Michael is assigning a number to your dream tonight, or to your clock, or to your phone notification. And when you see it, stop, pray, because that number is your divine alert. It may be 1144, or 333, or 717. Each one holds a unique signal, and when it appears, it means your miracle is entering your timeline. Not delayed, not denied, but delivered. Heaven uses time not to punish, but to whisper. And tonight, the clock will speak. Even your dreams may shift. You may feel like you're flying, or seeing a door open, or standing in your childhood home again. That's not memory. That's spiritual language. God is showing you where you were broken, so He can restore it. Heaven is walking you backward in sleep, so it can walk you forward in power. And Michael will be there in your dream. Yes, he walks through dreams too. He shows up as protection, as fire, as the one who blocks the intruder. So don't fear the dreams. They are instructions in disguise. And if you write them down when you wake up, you will unlock secrets faster than others around you. Because God is not playing with your destiny. You've waited too long. You've cried too hard. You've lost too many nights. And now, heaven says, enough. Now it's time to rebuild. But not from scratch, from grace. You won't need to fight to find love again. It will find you. You won't have to chase money like before. It will come looking for your light. Because the angels have now gone ahead of you. They are preparing meetings, conversations, encounters. It will look like coincidence to others, but you'll know it was Michael's hand arranging it all. You'll say, I just happened to be there at the right time. I wasn't even supposed to go, but I did. I never thought they'd call me back after all this time. That's not luck. That's divine movement. And that begins tonight. Because heaven is done allowing delays. But you must hold one thing close. Don't open your door to doubt again. Don't let fear be your guest. Don't let bitterness take up space on your couch. Your house is now a temple. And temples do not entertain shadows. Temples carry glory. And if you write them down when you wake up, you will unlock secrets faster than others around you. Because God is not playing with your destiny. You've waited too long. You've cried too hard. You've lost too many nights. And now, heaven says, enough. Now it's time to rebuild. But not from scratch, from grace. You won't need to fight to find love again. It will find you. You won't have to chase money like before. It will come looking for your light. Because the angels have now gone ahead of you. They are preparing meetings, conversations, encounters. It will look like coincidence to others. But you'll know it was Michael's hand arranging it all. You'll say, I just happened to be there at the right time. I wasn't even supposed to go, but I did. I never thought they'd call me back after all this time. What you are experiencing is not random chance, but a shift that feels guided and intentional, unfolding in ways you may not fully understand yet. There is a sense that certain delays are finally giving way, and with that comes an invitation to let go of hesitation. This moment calls for clarity of mind and steadiness of heart, especially when doubt tries to creep back in. There is no space for old fears to settle again, and no need to give room to thoughts that drain your confidence or pull you backward. Instead, this is a time to treat your inner world with care, like a space that deserves calm, respect, and strength. When you move through life from that place, everything begins to feel different. Your reactions soften, your decisions become more grounded, and your presence carries a quiet assurance. You may notice yourself speaking with more purpose, holding back less of who you are, and no longer shrinking in situations where you once felt small. That change often reflects an inner awakening, where confidence replaces uncertainty and direction becomes clearer. As this continues, unexpected moments of grace may appear in everyday life. Simple blessings, timely help, or resolutions that arrive without struggle. Peace also starts to feel more natural, not something you chase but something you carry. The key is to remain steady in this shift, not rushing it or resisting it, but allowing it to unfold at its own pace. Stay centered, stay open, and let this phase guide you into a stronger, calmer version of yourself that has been forming quietly.